I tell you, I think during the breaks, a lot of times it's even better radio than on air with these guests. I mean, I'm just as intrigued and excited as you are, even more so. Constant discussions with my guests during the breaks. But it is the breaks that allow us, in this system to get the energy cubes we need to be on air and, finance this whole thing. So it is symbiotic, and we appreciate all of our sponsors. But I was bringing up the fact, really asking Dr. Begich to judge who I am, because it's always good to have outside perspectives. And I said, well, I really am fearless. But it's because I know I've got to do this because it's the right direction, and that we are basically going down the wrong road if I don't. So it's not a thing of courage fighting corruption. It's something I've got to do, like a tropism, something that's just ingrained in me. But sometimes it comes off like fear. For me, if my neighbor's house is on fire and I call them and say, wake up, your house is on fire, that's not fear. That's taking action. Right. And Dr. Begich agreed with me. I mean, what's your view on yourself and what you do, what I'm doing?
Yeah, I think that's true. And each of us have a gift. And when we recognize the gift and begin to work within it, it doesn't create fear. It creates the opposite, confidence, a sense of a purpose because you are doing what you're talented and good at. And that's, again, for the rest of the public out there. Each of us have those gifts, and we all have a sphere of influence, whether it's our families and friends or a radio audience. But when you're working within your gifts and within that realm, you don't experience fear. As an individual, I don't. I know you don't, Alex, and it's because we're doing what we know we can do, what we're capable of doing. We know we're not alone. We're being assisted in lots of different ways, but we move forward in that knowledge safely and confidently and without fear. If you're experiencing fear and worry as you engage a conflict, perhaps you need to pull back a little bit and analyze whether it's you that should engage this conflict or whether you should hand the baton to another, or whether it's the right time. Ask yourself, those things are normal emotions to tell us, hey, be careful, be cautious. If you plow through them, you have a lot of risk. And I don't think we're ever put into a battle that we're not equipped to fight, but we have to know that going into the battle. So each one that we each individually pick becomes incredibly important. And
yeah, if you are hearing a danger, Will Robinson, back off, ease back. I mean, my problem, Dr. Begich, is I never hear the danger, Will Robinson. It's just full speed ahead.
But, occasionally, and I got to say this, occasionally, though, Alex, and I know you do this as well as I do, you'll be in the course of your work, you'll run into someone that you just have that sinking bad feeling about.
Yes.
And you just go, well, I don't know why, I don't know how, but I'm just going to ignore this situation or avoid this individual. And then, 6 months rolls by and you figure out why. Well, I think that's important. And so it's not really fear as much as it is awareness, again, of what's around you and what can come against you and whose interest you're opposing, because people like to keep their self-interest preserved. And when you're stepping on toes, as we are, you excite some people, but, I look at it this way. That's great. That means it's working. When they start hammering on you, it's working. And you can look at the work we've done over the years, and it does make its way in. In a number of the technical reports dealing with personal privacy issues, Earth Pulse and the work that we've done is cited there because it's quality material. The stuff that we do to alert the public and stimulate activity is just that, stimulating activity. But the listeners, people who hear these words and act on them, do things that we could never do. And people go, well, I'm just this little guy doing this little thing. Well, you don't know. A guy walking down the street, just as simple as a smile to the guy walking the other way. And the guy walking the other way maybe gets that bit of encouragement and goes off and creates some great invention. Now, who is the stimulator of that invention? The guy who invented it, or the guy who acted as the catalyst by a little human compassion? I think the guy who acted as the catalyst, and each of us is a catalyst for change.
Well, it's the listeners of this broadcast that make it so incredibly powerful and dangerous to the globalist paradigm. We're going to come back and take phone calls. This has been one of the most amazing interviews ever with Dr. Nick Begich. The awakening, the quickening is accelerating. You can all feel it.